Are you tired of Azumarills hitting the Pokemon and then it gets back to life and then it gets hit again and it comes back to life and then it goes back and it sucks. So I decided to test most of the belly drummers in Scarlet and Violet. Now I say most because there's some I haven't tried fully, but I've calculated. There's ones like Slowbro, which don't really need if you already have a Azumarill and these other Pokemon. The other one was Charizard, which is also a really good one to do since it gets Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, and all that other stuff. But he is really weak to rock, and he's weak to water, and he's weak to electric. So in a way, it's too squishy for me as a Pokemon for trying to clear dens. But if you want to try some of these, I'd say they're pretty good. Now, of course, we all know about Iron Hands. I mean, it's Iron Hands. Everyone loves Iron Hands right now. If you've done a bunch of 5 or 6 star, you probably have seen them. But the thing is that a lot of people don't really care for the type of the Pokemon when they see it and just go straight for Iron Hands. I'm saying Iron Hands a lot right now. Example is I've ran into some Iron Hands going into against Hippowdon that was Poison Terra. Of course, I know he gets Earthquake, but they were going for Drain Punch. He's a very good option, and with Boost Energy, it's a lot of damage if you Belly Drum. The only problem though is he's electric, and electric's weak to ground. So you're gonna have some things you can cover and then some things you can't. Now see, that's why we're here. We're giving you more options for your belly drumming needs. Now my favorite right now, and I think everyone should make one of these, is Ursaring. Now Ursaring is an interesting one because not only can you do belly drum and learn a huge moveset of moves from like Shadow Claw to Fire to I think even Electric, Dragon. I'm pretty sure he gets Outrage, I think. But on top of that, he gets Guts. So not only are you stacking +6 with a belly drum, but you're also burning yourself with a flame orb to do even more damage. The only issue though is his defense and special defense are pretty frail, so you'll have to try and see if he survives some situations. Obviously he doesn't survive against fighting moves, so that's a big L, but it's a really good one if you can somehow figure out how to do that. Next, of course, I've tested Cetitan. Now Cetitan is actually a really fun one to use too. Its HP bar is ridiculously high, so with belly drum, you'll probably survive any hit, maybe not a focus blast, but who knows. But the cool thing about it is it learns a lot of moves from like Play Rough to Ice Punch, Earthquake, and Liquidation, which are all real good coverage moves. But the cherry on top of the cake for this guy is he gets Sheer Force as his hidden ability. And what that does, if you don't know, is it boosts your attacks if it has an additional effect. And stacked with belly drum, it's pretty broken. Can he one-shot? Sometimes. Most of the time, and there's sometimes he can't. But he does do a lot of damage, so I'd highly recommend using Cetitan. Next we have Hariyama, whatever. The original OG belly drummer. I'm kind of shocked not a lot of people are using this if they're already using Iron Hands. But the cool thing about this dude is he also gets Sheer Force and has a very big move pool, including I believe Headlong Rush, which I don't think counts for Sheer Force, but I mean a ground move that's 120 power. I mean, you might as well be using it if you want it. But either way, he gets like Zen Headbutt, Poison Jab, and even Drain Punch if you need to heal. He's very dope. And then lastly, we have Greedent, which is, I would say, the weakest one. The cool thing with Greedent though is it is very tanky Pokemon, and it gets an ability called Cheek Pouch, where if you have a Citrus Berry after you belly drum, not only do you heal, the list goes even farther. So he's got a good coverage for himself. The only issue is I feel like his damage is not as strong as these other belly drummers. So if you don't want him, that's perfectly fine. But he is a pretty fun one to still use in dens. And yeah, that's all my information. I hope this comes in handy for somebody doing dens. And yeah, have a good one.